Like you paused,
At least it happened.
paused, and you were talking, and then nothing.
At least it happened at the end.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hello? Welcome back.
Hello,
everybody. Sorry, the stream crashed.
You
I
sure
don't know.
my
I don't know
stream
how long.
started
What was the last thing I said?
or Wednesday?
I forgot you were talking about the release date for Pirates, the Pirates podcast.
Oh, shit.
Right. Okay. So, like I said, Pirates 1, Curse of the Black Pearl will be available on Patreon on the 29th of May, so Memorial Day. And then will be available fully on the 2nd of June. On the 5th, Dead Man's Chest will be released on Patreon and will be released fully on the 9th. Then on the 12th will be At World's End on Patreon, and then on the 16th for everybody. And we're going to be throwing in the Harbinger Down Patreon exclusive episode, so at the $5 tier, probably in the first week or probably second week of June. And then we're going to be recording our commentary track for Jurassic Park for its 30th anniversary so that we can release it on, I think it's the 20th, or it's either the 20th or the 22nd, which is whatever the release date was for Jurassic Park.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we got some stuff, and then we're going to be working on that Kaiju show, planning that out, getting that all set up. Dan and Angela are going to be working behind the scenes for that. That's going to be kind of their baby when it comes to the Patreon.
She's working on a list.
I'm just going to be there to talk. They're going to be doing all the planning and doing all that stuff. So,
oh Christ, okay,
you guys got this. And they're going to come up with the name of the show. I gave them some homework.
Yeah,
Angela looks like she's got this. She's like, what are you worried about? Got this.
I suck at coming up with names for stuff, so this
So
is
do I.
gonna be all on this one.
So do I.
I can make lists all day long, but when it comes to naming something, I had trouble naming our own kids. So if that tells you anything.
Oh god. Well, sorry everybody that the stream crashed. It was not something I was planning on happening. I was literally looking down at my phone, looking at dates to kind of know when things were happening, and I look up and the wheel of death. And I was like, and Ann and Angela were frozen. I was like, oh boy, cool. I'm glad this is at the end of the show.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of the plan going forward. We're going to be recording At World's End this weekend, so look out for our Twitter and Instagram posts. Please leave your comments on these movies. If you got opinions on these movies that we're covering, please leave them. Leave comments on those Twitter posts or Instagram posts. We love reading your guys' comments at the end of the show. And then we're going to have Wyatt from Cinema Trip Reviews coming on the week after to record for Evil Dead 2013, which is very exciting because I recorded a fresh cut episode for Evil Dead Rise, which I really enjoyed. So I have not seen Evil Dead 2013 from beginning to end, so it's going to be really cool. And I just ordered the 4K. Oh, excuse me. Ordered the 4K Blu-ray for it, so I'm very excited to watch that. Fully for the first time and get to record with Wyatt, who, like I said, I just hung out with for Matrix Reloaded. So we got a lot going on, guys. It seems like a lot, but I think we're gonna make this all work, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna make sure to give you guys your money's worth on Patreon. Like I said, we're gonna be bringing that $5 tier, but there's gonna be a lot of goodies that's gonna be going into that tier. So you're gonna be getting your money's worth and more. And yeah, I think that's about it. I just want to thank everybody for all the love and support you guys have showed us for the last 2 years. I do want to thank Dan and Angela for being here. Even though they weren't official co-hosts for a good 4 or 5 months of the show in the beginning, they were here.
Okay with
they were here a lot.
We're okay with being second choice.
They were here a lot to help out with the show in the beginning, and then for them to say yes to taking that co-host position, it means a lot to me, because talking about I love talking about movies, but talking about movies by myself, not as fun. So being able to talk, with, we all have very different opinions, which even makes it even better. We don't, I mean, there are times where we all agree with each other on things, but there are times where we all have various opinions when it comes to a certain movie. So it's fun to bring those perspectives to the table. Please for anybody who listens to the show on a weekly basis, even if it's not all the time, even if it's just movies that you enjoy, please let people know about the show. People that you think would enjoy listening to the show. Make sure, if you listen to us on Spotify, make sure to leave 5 stars. If you're listening to us on Spotify and you haven't rated our show, we're at 15 ratings right now on Spotify. We'd like to get more than that, because the more ratings we get on Spotify, the more ratings we get on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, anywhere you can rate our show, it helps us get out there and gets us into more ears. We're very, this is not a scripted show. This is not a crazy research show. We are just 3 normal people just talking about movies. Yes, normal.
And I'm gonna pull a Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish, but personally, I want to thank you, because without you, I probably wouldn't have watched. I'd say probably 3/4 of what I've watched. I've been introduced to so many new things, and I love introducing people to things that I love too. I have made a list since we've been recording of movies, kaiju movies, and I'd probably say 95% of them I've watched, and it's I want people to see this. So having somebody there that can introduce me to stuff while me also introducing other people to things that I love, I want to thank you, because I probably would never have watched. I never would have personally picked some of the movies that have been, have been watched. So
yes, they have endured a lot of just me going, "Hey, you guys want to cover this?" And they're like, "Okay." Sure.
Yeah,
I will.
So, it's been a blast.
Yeah, and I will reiterate what she said. Like I've mentioned before, we do appreciate the opportunity, everybody listening. But I'd also like to state, on this show we are working on, the Giant Claw will not be on this fucking list, because I want that to be an actual episode of the show. Everybody needs to listen to. I will exclude certain things from this list that I want to be episodes. Maybe not be now, may not be for 5 years from now, but it needs to happen.
Oh, man. Yes, that is a plan, everybody. I don't know when it's happening, but it is a plan. The Giant Claw. Dan has been talking about it since I think he's been on this show, period. Yeah. He probably talked about it during our first 4 episodes when we were going through the Monsterverse. So it has been mentioned for 2 years, and it's going to happen someday. Can't tell you when, but it will happen.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been an awesome 2 years, and I thank you so much. We've done so much over the last 2 years. At first, it was just us streaming this show. We weren't even putting it out anywhere. It was just us streaming it on Twitch, and then that was it. And then I decided, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna put it on podcast services. We did that. I didn't edit the show for the first 19 episodes. We literally just recorded it, put it out there, and that was it. And then I started editing the show. I started going a little crazy with editing, and then I kind of backed off. It's just, I just want to have a conversation. I don't want to add a bunch of just extra shit to it. I don't want to try to be some other show that there are other shows that do those type of things, and I don't want to be exactly like them. I want to be unique in a way, even though we are very similar to a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of podcasts out there that talk about movies. Movie podcasts probably are some of the most like when it comes to a genre of podcasting, movie podcasts there's a lot of them, and we are swimming in a giant pool. And the fact that we're getting, people are listening to our show and enjoying it and leaving us ratings, it's insane to me to see people enjoying our show. When I record an episode, literally every time I record an episode, I'm like, boy, that wasn't great. And it's usually on my end. It's not I'm not saying it about them. It's usually me. It's oh, I don't know about that one. And then I go back and
No.
edit through it, and then I listen to it, and I go, "Oh fuck, that's actually pretty fucking good." Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's the same with true crime. Like, I have been a fan of true crime for 20 years. It's nothing new to me. But the more podcasts I listen to, it's such a saturated
Yeah.
field that you have to be different than anybody else to kind of climb out of that hole that is all those people. So to actually hear people say that, hey, you guys are awesome, you know, you are, you know, one of my favorites, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of awesome to hear, because you hear other people and you're like, they're kind of
Yeah.
awesome too. So,
But like I said earlier, if you guys listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of those apps, please leave us a rating if you haven't already. It's as simple as literally just clicking some stuff. We love movies, whether good or bad. At the end of the day, it's still a movie. Absolutely. And I mean, listen, it was something I always used to say at the end of the show, and I got away from it because I'm terrible at remembering things that I'm supposed to like. People have their catchphrases and things they say in every show, and I used to do that, and then like my brain just doesn't work very well anymore. So trying to remember those things, but I always used to say at the end of every episode, even if it was good, a good movie, a bad movie, a really ugly movie, and we've talked about some ugly movies on this show. Watch a movie and form your own opinion. You know, don't listen to our show and what we think. Like, you know, we literally lambasted Jurassic World Dominion for 3 hours, and none of us liked it. Angela liked it the most out of all of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're not faulting her.
Fine,
We
it's
weren't
okay.
we weren't throwing
I
we weren't
said-
throwing
I
tomatoes
said-
at her like, boo, you like that shitty movie. No, it just that's how the show
you didn't
works.
see what happened after you stopped recording. He did. No, I'm just kidding. No, like I
This is
felt
a
He had,
witch
the,
hunt.
he had the bucket of tomatoes. Like, I'm just
like Ghostbusters 2016. I felt like we had the same
Yes.
opinion, and we were just kind of like
Yeah.
chucking everything at it.
And that's the thing. Is like, but the thing is like there are people out there who like the Ghostbusters 2016, and that's cool. I'm not gonna fault you
Yeah.
for it. If someone told me that, I'd be
no.
like, that's cool. Good for
No.
you. Like, I'm glad you
Like-
like it. Like, there are bad movies that people really like, where other people are just, they'll just go on Twitter and just be like, if you like that movie, then fuck you. You're fucking trash. And you're like, well, that's a little extreme.
Yeah, right.
Like Mandalorian is not a movie, but I can go like when the last season was going.
Yeah.
I work with pharmacists that absolutely love The Mandalorian, and they talk about it, and there's a girl that I work with hates it, and they make fun. They're like grown-ass men that loves Mandalorian, and I'm like, so what?
That's not cool.
What am
I
I?
don't like that.
I'm like, yes, I'm a grown-ass woman that loves Mandalorian and loves
that's-
Star Wars. And I know they think I'm strange. You know, I have the tattoos that aren't, you know, the tattoos that everybody else has, and I talk about stuff that not everybody else likes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have me and a coworker that talks about World of Warcraft. You know,
Ooh.
everybody likes their own thing. I'm not gonna fault you for liking. I'm like, gosh, you guys talk about Morgan Wallen and Harry Styles, and I'm like, it's thinking in my head. I'm like, shut up. 'Cause it's all you talk about. But I'm not gonna like say it to your face.
Right. It's,
Like, you like what you like.
yeah,
I like
exactly.
what I like. I'm sorry that they're watching, weekly episodes that are released, and they're coming in and talking about it.
Mhm.
They found their group that they like to talk about stuff with. So I'm like,
Yeah.
don't be making fun.
So, I mean,
But-
literally, anytime we talk about a bad movie that we think is bad, in the beginning, I know, like, when I went through the Resident Evil movies with Leanne, it was, I was really harsh on those movies, and I still think they're just not good movies. I don't like them. They're not in my opinion, and I will stress that. I think
Yes.
they're awful. I just don't think they're good in any way,
And
shape,
that's
or form.
okay.
But I tried to always state like that is just my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, that's cool. That's fine. That's just how it works. Like
Opinions are like buttholes.
everyone's
Everybody
got one.
has one.
Yep. And I'm also the type of person who doesn't like puke my opinions up on Twitter like a lot of people do about movies, and then
Yeah.
they like judge other people for not liking something or liking something or
Yes.
whatever. And I know like some certain people that will do it just kind of because they have like a persona, and you know it's trying to get like attention on Twitter. And cool, if that's what you want to do. I've just never been like that. I don't like that type of attention. I like to just post things that I like, I believe in, and then if
Yeah.
someone doesn't like it, they don't like it. That's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change my view on things. Like, you know,
Nope.
I like, you know, people be like, hey, what's like? I think recently it was like, what's somebody show me your Child's Play rankings, like going through the whole franchise. I've always stated Child's Play 1 is the best Child's Play. And there are a lot of people who always put Child's Play 2 as the number 1, and that's cool. I love the whole franchise. And then like if someone ever were to be like, oh, you're an idiot for thinking that Child's Play 1 is better than Child's Play 2, I'm an idiot because that's what I like. Don't be that person. Just don't be that person. Just like what you like. Don't let other people persuade you. And that's what I want people to take from our episodes. I don't want you to listen to our episode and go, oh man, I don't really want to see that movie now. Like Cruel Jaws, listen, don't see that movie. That is one movie I will tell you not to see. Unless you really just want, if you want to watch Cruel Jaws, just get really fucked up and watch Cruel Jaws, because that is the only way you can get through that movie. That is a movie that is bad to the point where I will straight up say, don't see it. But if you're interested, do it.
Well, it's like Friday the 13th, too. There, people, not the second one, but
Dad's bald.
There's so many people
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that like other Friday the 13th, not just the first one.
Yeah.
Like they could, like his favorite one is not the first one.
And mine either. I don't like. To be honest, like if you guys want to go back and listen to our where we went through the entire Friday the 13th franchise and saw our rankings, like we went through every single one, talked about them a little bit, ranked them, and and Friday the 13th Part 1 definitely not mine or Dan's number 1, but Angela really liked it. That's cool. Good, like cool. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, like there may be some days where I'm like, ooh, I like this, and this more from this movie in the franchise as opposed to what I like. But there's always that core, it's that core concept that you always enjoy.
Well,
I'm just here.
I know you're here.
On that note, I'm just going to thank all of our patrons.
Yes.
Before we go, we we're over 10 patrons already. We only have the $1 tier, and I hope that we'll get more once we pop that new tier in and get some more content out of there. So I'm going to thank all of our amazing patrons. We actually got a new patron, our good friend Rudy5453 joined the Patreon. Chris, we love you, man. He's been a longtime friend of mine, and
I know it's hard calling him Rudy because I know.
I've meant. I mean, even when I was streaming, I always called him by his actual.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for, it means the world that you guys will give us money to, do what we do. We got Andrew Schoding, Eric Stein, Carlos J. Moda, the Baron's Hideout Podcast. We got Dan and Angela from DNA Gaming. We have Billy Joseph Jr., the Flicks and Friends Podcast, Doom Generation, and our first patron ever, I'm going to call him our super fan, because he is probably the best. He is probably he is the hardest supporter I've ever met, and that is our good friend Johnny Browning.
I love him.
So a round of applause to all of our patrons and all of our supporters over the last 2 years. Thank you so much for, supporting us and just sharing, even just sharing things on Twitter, Instagram, just telling a friend about our show, that means the world. And we hope we can do this. Well, hopefully in the next 2 years we'll be around. And even 1 year, we'll be back to do this again in our 3rd year. And we got a lot of episodes, a lot of content planned for you guys, and I'm so excited to do more. Hopefully, with the Patreon and hopefully, getting people in, we can raise enough money where we can upgrade our equipment. We can all get some cool new mics. We can get things so that the show sounds a little bit better. Maybe, the show doesn't sound terrible, but, every bit of money that you give to us is going right into the show. It's not going in my pocket. It's not going towards my bills. It's not going towards their bills. It's going towards this show and making this show the best we can do. Okay.
I'll have money to spend for my stream.
It's gonna be a good time. So yeah, make sure to follow us on Dissect That Film on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Even though Facebook can fuck off. And Dan and Angela, make sure to follow all their links. They're going to be down in the description as always, or just go to one of our many videos. Their links are in any of those descriptions. Make sure to check them out on Angela's about to hop on Twitch, I think. I don't know, we went a little late, but she's going to be streaming. Is it DNA_gaming 1 on Twitch?
Yeah.
Or is it? Yes. Okay, so DNA_gaming 1 on Twitch. Go check it out now. I'm going to probably hop in there and be lurking, but I'll be in there. And it's or you can follow me at Parker Dissects. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I don't really look at my Parker Dissects page, but maybe one day I'll go back to doing some streams like once a week or just randomly. So Angela's leaving. She's done.
No, it's too late, dude. He has to do the thing. He says bye.
Bye, everybody. Okay, thank you so much. We love you, and have a great day. And
thank you.
Yeah. Let's go. Bye-bye.